Hello there, and welcome to Hammerman for today, April the 23rd. I was totally going to do a special imitation game video, but, well, you know how that goes. I believe there was a song about it at one point. Okay, so... Sorry, the dog has decided now is the time to give a bath. Here, yeah, this is what's happening. I don't even know if that's going to be cut off, but he's down there working away on my arm and my hand and probably any other exposed skin he can find. Fortunately, I'm actually wearing pants today for some reason. I know it never happens, but today. All right, first couple of stages of Hammerman, pretty standard, you know. Things land and they die. I was actually really stoked that I did stage 1 with a flawless, with no prototypes and no ice. It put a warm, happy spot right in the cockles of my heart, because I don't know. I guess that's where warm spots go. I'm not sure where the cockles is, but good luck, heart. Good luck. So, because of last week, with my super crazy landmine field of insanity, basically being the MVP and saving the entire day, I decided, you know what, this week, I want to see what happens. I'm just going to, like, throw it down, like, from beginning to end, see, well, beginning to as far as I can actually make it through, and just, like, see what this setup is. Oh god, I'm covered in dog slime now. Drool. Anyways, so I wanted to, like, throw down this base and just see how it stands up to various different things, because obviously it's fully intended to take out the Grens as fast as possible. It's a Gren killer. But I just wanted to see sort of how it would stand up to the rigors of Hammerman on a regular basis, in no small part due to the fact that my other base layout, I had to kill a bunch of trees in order to switch to it, and I was just not willing to kill the trees, because, you know, save a tree, ride a cowboy. I don't... there's a song. Anyways, So I was like, no, I don't want to wipe out my trees. I'm going to do this instead. It will be awesome, and everybody can live happily ever after. Now, what I wasn't expecting is actually how good it did. I figured, like, front-loaded with all those sniper towers and all those boom cannons, that things would go horribly, horribly sideways, and I'd end up having to switch things up and losing trees anyways. But it really didn't work out that way. It was pretty surprising. I guess it's just the increased hit points of the boom cannons and everything right up on the front. It ties up the troops a little bit longer and lets them kind of work their way through. Also, because everything is down on the beach, there were some Grens that were being thrown out there, and they got mashed because, well, that's kind of what this base is meant to do. But what I was really worried about was more like the Riflemen Zerg backed up by medics or whatever, because Hammerman as a whole this week, pretty nasty. Like, this is just stage 4, and you end up with those tank Grens, and it is bad. I believe there's also actually medics that landed in an earlier wave. Fortunately, I was able to wipe them out. But you could be finding yourself wrestling on the beach with a bunch of tank Gren medics, and not good. Not good at all, I tell you. It'll do horrible, horrible things to your base. So I was actually pretty impressed at how this stood up to that level. And okay, on stage 4, it's not like it's really boosted or anything, and the troops are a little easier to kill, but still kind of scary, and did a lot of damage to a maxed out base, rocking no prototypes, obviously. And then just because of the placement of the mortars and everything, it just happened a few seconds ago where everything kind of pushed up in a nice big wave, and then 2 mortars fired into these clusters of riflemen and just fried 2 massive sections. It's absolutely beautiful to watch every time. It's almost as good as watching the riflemen just pour into the minefield getting vaporized. It made me smile watching them all die so peacefully and quickly and without wiping out my base, because, you know, let's be honest. But, you know, that was stage freaking 4, which is frightening. Now we're moving, obviously, on to stage 5, and we got, like, a strange split just because of where the troops landed and everything. I definitely do have a lot of defenses that can still do something. Unfortunately, the bad guys are all walking away from said defenses that can do something. So what it really ends up turning into is rocket launcher extravaganza. Unfortunately, only the one rocket launcher can actually make range on the riflemen as they kind of crawl through, and it's incredibly slow going. I'm gonna save you the pain of sitting there and watching it. I was hoping they'd like dip back, like, those riflemen are right on the lip. You did right. I was hoping that with the death of the Sculptor, it would just like take that one step closer to the rocket launcher, and that would be all she wrote. That would be like the end. Unfortunately, the lone rifleman, the lucky rifleman, decided to go towards the armory instead, and basically we sit here for the next 4.5 minutes. Well, okay, not 4.5 minutes, but you know what I'm saying. We're just waiting. Just letting the clock run down. There's no chance he's getting anywhere near the HQ. Even if he was able to clear all the buildings, he'd still have to deal with the minefield, and it's not going to happen. So, then we move on to stage 6, which, once again, crazy with the medics and the riflemen, like right up first wave. And this is where they start getting scary, because they're starting to get a little bit more health, a little bit more damage out of this, I guess, statues that Hammerman has. I don't know. Maybe there's a statue base somewhere where they stack up. But the point is, you can see here how many troubles my machine guns and my flamethrowers and everything are having with just a couple of riflemen, because of all the medics sitting there just healing the ever-living bejesus out of them. So, stage 6, going right into the column with 4 and 5 as a nasty mofo of a level. Like, it's a pretty tough level, even with max defenses. Still not rocking any prototypes, so obviously, you know, if you start throwing down prototypes, it's going to become significantly easier. But if you're trying to like coast through as far as possible without wasting the parts, I don't know, maybe you're saving up for a push or something. 6 is going to be tough. It's going to hurt, and don't worry. Like, I guess this is why the minefield is there, but I was really worried all of these troops going over to the right-hand side were going to cut straight for the HQ, and I was just like, oh no, this is going to be embarrassing. But it worked out, and let's face it, the landmines did their duty and just wiped it. Look at oh, vaporized. Bye-bye. Love it. Anyway, stage 6 down, moving on to stage 7. I couldn't do it. I had to tap out. I not only had to drop prototypes, I had to drop 2. Now, yeah, it's a level 2 hot pocket, so like, you know, don't worry. It's not too incredibly crazy, but honestly, there are medics in this first wave, and tanks and riflemen and all kinds of crazy stuff, and if you want to stand a chance against this stage, you've got to take that stuff out. as quickly as possible, because those medics start getting in behind the walls of Riflemen, and like they become almost invincible, and then you've got all these tanks in behind the Riflemen who are being healed continually, and they do enough, like it's less damage than say Zooka's, but they come too. But like even just the constant grind of the tanks shooting away, it gets ugly, like it gets painful. There's a lot of damage that goes down. So what I would strongly suggest, front load yourself over on the left hand side, make that first wave die at all costs. Just like make it dead, because as you can see here, now I've got like a whole bunch of Riflemen and crazy pants guys running around over on the left hand side, and one, obviously the rocket launchers are able to do some work and really clear them up, but only for a certain time, kind of like stage 4 or 5, whatever, where eventually they kind of stroll out of range of the old rocket launchers. Now, the good thing is, the minefield is still sitting there, and the minefield does work, but man, way closer than I would like to after dropping 2 prototypes. Stage 7, just nasty this week. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully this has been helpful. Hopefully it's been entertaining, and above all else, hopefully you guys have a fantastic day.